What's up, people? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Welcome to the last Annoyed Gamer of 2013. That's right, 2013, the year came, the year went, and I've got some things to talk about. Otherwise, it would be a very boring video of me just standing here, scratch my ass. All right, first topic, VGX. That's right, VGA reimagined. Gone from a live, big audience-y type thing to a more intimate 3-hour event with lots of reveals, awards actually happening, devs coming up and getting to do their speeches, and all that was great. I actually liked that aspect. I like the fact that, you know, we stepped away from, and here's some bloke who's on Scrubs to present the next award and blah, blah, blah. I liked the fact that the devs could come up and talk about, you know, their games when it came to the reveals. I liked that there were some live gameplay demos. I liked the fact that devs could come up and say thank you, or present a video saying, thank you, we got this award, fantastic. I thought Jeff Keighley did a great job. I thought Jeff was the consummate professional, which, you know, he needed every ounce of said professionalism to deal with Joel McHale. That's right, Joel McHale, who is funny as a snarky bastard on the soup, and is funny on Community, and has a lot of cachet, but isn't a gamer, and basically is one of these guys that, you know, gets wheeled out and, oh yes, I'm here to do this, I'm getting paid, and I'm going to insult you gamers all over the shop. I'm going to say you're all nerds, and I'm going to make little jokes about you and basements and all this fun shit and blah, blah, blah. Guess what, Joel? You're not fucking funny. In fact, take it to your paycheck, donate it to Child's Play, then you will have contributed something to VGX. This fascination with celebrity in the games industry and at award shows in particular boggles my fucking mind. I think that the best co-host for Jeff Keighley last week would have been our very own Dan Kaiser. I think the guy has a bundle of personality. Him and Jeff mesh together very well. Jeff being the more serious one, Dan having a very dark sense of humor. And I think they could have really vibed off each other. Like I said, kudos to Jeff for holding it all together, because I would have probably thrown Mr. McHale out of the window of that apartment downtown. So, moving forward, what does VGX have to do? Well, I think they could probably trim it by about an hour. I mean, if you take Joel McHale's uncomfortable interview questions, snarky comments, going off for a piss and leaving his mic on, you know, you take all that sort of stuff out of it, that'll trim it down a little. Okay, so another example of something that really probably sounded better in discussions in the New York offices, because that shit isn't done from here, than in actual execution. Dying Light and PewDiePie, PewDieTootie, that young chap who was obviously very popular on said YouTubes and internets because he did something that was about Miley Cyrus or something. But yes, I'm sure he's a lovely chap. Does not have a place on a live playthrough. I thought it was really amateurish and woeful, and after the really cool reveal we saw, to watch that playthrough was really quite ridiculous. If you want to have somebody come on and make an ass of themselves when it comes to playing these sort of games, Carl Bosman. He's sitting right there. It's my last show, I gotta, you know, I gotta get one in. But yes, less of that. If you want the comedy, well, guess what? GT has a bunch of really funny people. Carl Bosman, again, is a great comedy writer. I mean, Ryan Stevens is great with some of his delivery. Rob Manuel can also talk about indie games. So the appeal I'm making to the powers that be at Spike, at, you know, whoever is behind the VGX, there's a pool of talent here at GameTrailers, and they do a lot of work for these sort of things, and they really need to be on the screen front and center, because they're the ones that people tune into. They're the gamers. They're the ones who love this medium. They're not an overpriced C-list comic who basically turned up to insult everybody. So again, good job, Jeff. Well done. You held it together. Thankfully, you do not have my temper. Okay, so being the last show of 2013, it's time for the naughty and nice list. Who was naughty and who was nice this year? It's a condensed list. I'm not going to ramble on forever, but I am going to go with a couple of old favorites. EA. Yeah. Sims. SimCity, whatever it was. You know, that game that didn't work. You know, everything else that they've done. Battlefield not working properly, still glitching, people updating, then sitting in a lobby for 3 months, or having the best game of their lives and it crashing and them losing all their achievements. You know, glitchy, dodgy as fuck. Yeah, so EA. Microsoft, for their yo-yo year. They obviously started off on a down sweep with the Xbox One reveal. Continued that down sweep through E3, and then after E3 got their shit together. started saying the right things. You know, took away Always Online, took away the DRM stuff, started actually, you know, behaving like gamers with their bread and butter and not just people who want an entertainment box and play fantasy football. So they went up, and then the Xbox One released. And look, I was harsh on it last week, and I think deservedly so. I will say I enjoyed Killer Instinct on the machine. I did enjoy Dead Rising 3, but the microtransaction stuff in particular is shenanigans of the highest order and has to be reevaluated. There's nothing worse than making us feel like, well, basically we're used. So, no, Microsoft, you're on the naughty list this year. On the naughty and the nice list this year is Nintendo. Basically because they spent most of the year not really doing anything major. And I know there's people out there who are going to say, well, you know, we had, you know, this game from Japan, and we had Pikmin, and we had the wonderful 101. And guess what? They really didn't sell. But what puts Nintendo on the nice list is Mario, the new Mario game. And I know a lot of people are loving Zelda as well. So let's have more Mario. Let's have more cool big stuff. Let's have that third-party support. Let's make the Wii U viable in 2014, Nintendo, because we want to love you. So you're on both lists. Who else is on both lists? Sony. PlayStation 4, they said all this amazing stuff from day one, and we bought into it and we loved it. And on the whole, it's pretty good. But people are having issues with, you know, faulty disk drives and saves and overheating. And, you know, the launch game lineup was not the most stellar. I still think Knack is a fun and daft game, but then again, you know, I am an idiot. So sue me. But yeah, so you're on the naughty list for the games you actually released and all the updates. Oh, you just need an update to play the Blu-ray DVD player. Really? No, we know that update is for more than that. Don't fucking lie to us. And then, you know, on the nice list because you said the good stuff. On the nice list, the majority of the indie developers this year. Great indie games. I think we saw that with the VGX nominations and, you know, the cool stuff we've seen and the evolution of a lot of indies to becoming full-fledged, you know, self-publishing dynamos. I think it's awesome that we've seen games like Gone Home, Papers, Please, Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. Hell, I mean, I will even put in Rise of the Triad as an indie game because of everything that team went through to recreate it, and that was a bunch of fun as well. And I love that we're seeing more of these games, and I'm hoping we're going to see these games now more on the next-gen consoles as soon as possible, as well as just being on PC or Xbox Live on, you know, and PSN on the old consoles. We need that stuff coming through. I'm hoping the support is there. It'd be great to see them. What else is on the naughty list? Because I'm just flipping back and forth, I'm spitballing. I came in with, you know, just a general idea today. What else is on the naughty list? Kyle, anybody on your naughty list this year? No, nobody's on Kyle's naughty list. He's way too nice. So, let's go back to the nice list. Deep Silver. Deep Silver had a good year this year. They picked up a bunch of THQ stuff and taught THQ a lesson. Guess what? This is what we can do with Metro, and this is what we can do with Saints Row. We can make them the biggest selling iterations of these particular franchises. We can make them fun. We can release downloadable content that is rather amusing and daft. You know what else was fun? Grand Theft Auto. You know what else was fun? The Last of Us. All on the nice list. Great games on the nice list. We had great games this year. Now, do I think this year is better than last year games-wise? I think it's neck and neck, because I think while we had games of higher quality this year, we had less high quality games, if that makes any sense. You look at last year and the median review scores and how many games were over 90, and there were a slew. This year, not as many, but they were well over 90, if you catch my drift. So I would like to see the quality of this year and the quantity of last year. I think that would be great. You know who else is on the nice list? Well, most of you lot. The gamers, the ones who've contributed this year, the ones who've had conversations with not just me, but with other people about games you love. The ones who've raised a lot of money via Child's Play, have done 24-hour, 48-hour playathons, who've contributed and done nice things for people. I mean, there is a small subset, a small, very vocal subset who go on the naughty list. Those are the ones I like to call the ones with the little dicks, and they are the ones who abuse people for not having the same console, or for being a woman, or being a black guy, or being gay, or transsexual, or whatever. Those are the intolerant fuckwits that we get in all aspects of life, alas, and unfortunately, the internet gives them their head. those are the ones who are, you know, basically wastes of oxygen, and those meat bags will hopefully breathe themselves out of existence at some point. But the rest of you, you're pretty good people. You really are. The ones I've had run-ins with, the ones I've had conversations with, I mean, I've had back and forth with people, and, you know, sometimes I've been an asshole, sometimes they have. But on a lot of occasions, it's developed into proper conversations. So there are a lot of great people out there. So put yourselves on the nice list. Have yourself a nice Christmas candy cane. Lumps of coal for everybody else. Now, that rambling naughty and nice list is going to be replaced by a resolution list. And these are the resolutions that I want the games industry to take a look at for next year. First of all, franchise fatigue is a real thing. Electronic Arts, Activision, Ubisoft. Ubisoft have already started work on the new Assassin's Creed game. I mean, we've seen, you know, the leaks and all that stuff. Give us a year off. Seriously, we don't need another Assassin's Creed game next year. Leave it for another year. Call of Duty, put it to bed for a year. Go and do something else. I know Activision, you only have 2 freaking franchises anyway. You have Call of Duty and you have Skylanders. And without those 2 games, you're pretty much screwed. But for God's sake, bring us something else. We don't want another Call of Duty. Well, I don't want another Call of Duty game, especially as Ghosts was not very good, to be honest with you. EA, sort your shit out. EA used to be great. They went through a patch where they were the evil empire, and then when they got to number 2 and they got knocked off the spot, they became a little more humble and started doing some great games. But the rot is back in. The company is rotten. You don't have to beat Activision by being assholes. Stop being cool. Give us the good games. You've got some great stuff coming. You've got Star Wars. Don't fuck it up. That's my resolution to you. My resolutions and suggestions for the rest of the games industry. I know you're enamored by the word microtransaction. Well, not all of us are. In fact, these macro transactions, good call, somebody on the comment section last week, the macro transactions are getting out of hand. And the fact that you're just viewing gamers as piggy banks is ridiculous, and you're not doing yourself any favors. You're going to screw it up for yourselves, and you're going to screw it up for the rest of us, because people are going to walk away. People are going to say enough's enough, and then sales are going to go down, and people are going to lose their jobs, and then gaming's going to get in a rut because nobody's going to take any risks. Nobody's going to be exciting or innovative. Everything is going to get nasty again. Microtransactions are not a good thing. Stop it, sort them out, remove them. One final resolution, and this isn't just the holiday season talking, even though, you know, I am drunk off my head on eggnog. I'm not, no. I filmed this at 10 o'clock in the morning. I am not drunk, trust me. One final resolution. Why don't we just be nice to each other? I know, coming from a guy named Annoyed Gamer and blah, 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 but don't criticize somebody because of their choice of console. Don't start a war with somebody because they don't like your game, your particular favorite game. Why don't you maybe say, oh, well, I've never played a Wii U. I'm going to go give it a go if you've only got an Xbox. Or if you've got a PS3 or a PS4. I'm going to try this game on Xbox. I'm going to go and do this on Wii U. I'm going to play something on the DS. I'm going to explore some different games that are out of my comfort zone. I'm going to go download a $15 indie game on the PC. Why don't you try to do that? That should be your resolution. Try something different. Explore. Because let's face it, having steak for dinner is great. But when you have steak every fucking night of the week, it gets a little stale and your palate doesn't appreciate it as much as it used to, and your body starts to get full of leftover undigested red meat, and you end up exploding and dying from mad cow disease. Don't have the gamer's equivalent of mad cow disease, which is what we've seen this year with the console wars. On the subject of console wars, my friends in the media, my colleagues in the media, quit it with the fucking console wars. Who did best, PS4 or Xbox One? Who won this generation? Who won the next generation? Who won my granddad's generation? I know sometimes it's tough to find stories, but really falling back on these tired fucking tropes over and over, all you're doing is pitting people against each other and allowing this nasty underbelly to come to life. We don't need that. We are better than that. The median age of the gamer is older. We don't need to see and act like a bunch of fucking 5-year-olds fighting over the last milk carton at recess. And the media, stop stirring the pot. Be better in 2014. Be awesome. Do some great stories about how games are made and the positive effects. Yes, when shit's to be uncovered, uncover the shit. Call people out. Be evangelists for the consumer. Stop dicking around. Stop getting into bed perhaps too close with the publishers. Stop with the phony console wars and pitting people against one another. It really is a joke. Okay, that's the show for this week. And that's the show, not just for 2013. This is the last Annoyed Gamer you're going to see on GameTrailers. After 5 years, I have made the decision, after much thought, to step away from this site and all the great people who work here, because it's time for me to go off in a new direction and strike out on my own. So that's what I'm going to do. I am going to be starting up my own YouTube channel. I'm going to be putting my own content on there. You will see Annoyed Gamer on there in a slightly different format. You might see more, you know, a couple of times a week or less. But you'll also see other stuff as well. I'm going to take a crack at reviewing games again. I'm going to do some interviews. I'm just basically going to go off and do my own thing. So if you follow me on Twitter, @AnnoyedGamer, and take a look at my Facebook page and like Marcus Beer, because that's where the info is going to be. And I'm going to be sharing the YouTube info and various other projects that are starting to come through in the new year. It's an exciting time, but I'm 43 years of age. I got to go off and do my own thing. But I also want to take a minute to say thank you to everybody at GameTrailers. 5 years ago, a guy named Shane invited me in on Invisible Walls, and I became kind of a fixture almost 200 plus episodes ago. And then last year, I got this show, and a lot of people seem to like it. And not many companies, big companies, would actually have the stones to put somebody like me in front of a camera and let me say the crap that I say, disclaimer or not. So I want to say thanks to those guys. I want to say, you know, keep watching GT. Invisible Walls is being revamped for next year and is going to be awesome. Watch The Final Bossman because he's adorable, really. Indie Game Manual. Watch what Mike Damiani does. GameTrailers has got a bunch of great people, and next year is going to be awesome for them, and I am going to be tuning in every week. And finally, I just want to thank you guys who have tuned in pretty much every week. I mean, the numbers have gone up and have hit a good level, and I'm really honored that, you know, so many of you seem to like what I have to say. It's good that there are people out there who give a shit, and you know, you allow me to come and do what I do and enjoy it. So yeah, that's it. I'm done. You may see me on the site over the next couple of days. I'm going to be doing a mashup with that there man, Carl Bosman, and with Rob Manuel. We're going to sit and have a discussion as the awesome GT talent that we are. But yeah, follow me on the Twitter. I'll be seeing you in the new year in new digs. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you. I'm out.